Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. So we're gonna do story time. What is story time? Well, I'm gonna tell you a funny story about when I got pulled over because of this plate right here. So this is Milwaukee Bucks 1C with a huge space. This is gonna be a key. It has a white font, so it's really hard to see. So November 18th of 2022 in Portage, I got pulled over. Normal stuff. You pull over, it's nighttime, so roll down the windows, turn on the dome light. I'm waiting. And I finally hear the officer, far back, passenger side. I just hear him sigh. Dispatch, it's 1 Charlie. I'm like, well, that's weird. For most of you probably don't know, before you get pulled over, they're already running your plates, so they know who to expect, if there's anything on your record, any issues with law enforcement, etc., etc. So I'm like, okay, that's going to be interesting. He comes up and he introduces himself and he stumbles over his own name. I'm like, oh, he's nervous. I'm like, oh, that's not good. First question is, were the plates on the vehicle issued by DOT? I'm like, yeah, those are DMV plates. You're like, you didn't paint them? Like, nope. Then are you talking about the crappy white paint that you can barely see? He's like, yeah, I couldn't see any letters or numbers. He's like, when I pulled you over, I saw you, I looked at your license plate, I just didn't see anything. That's very difficult, especially with the wide spacing there. I believe he just focused on the middle and just blanked on everything else. He took my license really quick, and he was super nervous. And the stop didn't at all. He, looked at the registration. He's like, "Oh, you got insurance?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't need to say it. It's fine." And before he left, he's like, well, "Why do you have that number?" I'm like, "Well, it's the lowest number I could get." And he's like, "Of course." And he goes back to his car and takes off. And I'm like, "Oh, that was the most strangest interaction I've had with an officer probably ever." Usually they're not the nervous ones, right? Especially with a dinky little sedan with a little white guy in the driver's seat. But then I realized afterwards, I think he thought I was someone important. Especially with low numbers like these. Usually this is a sign of either you are somebody, or most likely you know somebody at the DMV to get something, such a cool combo. Poor guy didn't know I was a license plate collector. And I think he was just kind of nervous, kind of like, oh, did I just pull over somebody, and am I going to get a call from my sergeant getting screamed at because I pulled over this random guy? So, FYI, if you're running white paint plates, you might get pulled over. I run them off and on, so it's a possibility. Also, I run a cover. It's not tinted, just a clear cover over them because I like to keep my plates nice, and that can also interfere with being able to see them sometimes. At least that's what the officer said. Okay. Surprisingly enough, he didn't write me a ticket for that, because in Wisconsin, he could have. He didn't say that, but I know the laws well enough to go, meh. So yeah, just a funny story about a license plate that can give you an interaction with law enforcement that you might not want. But to be honest, in the wild, I think I've seen 1 or 2 plates like this that are from me. So it's pretty rare for them to do this. But it's also maybe a heads up to DMV that white paint isn't the best. But of course, they've discontinued the white paint, kind of. New specialty plates aren't going to have white paint on them, the roll coat, as people call that. But then they said that maybe a year ago due to cost and such. But then we just got issued through the budget proposal that started in October to have blackout plates. So that one should have white roll coat numbers. So who knows if white's really done or not? We'll see. You got any funny law enforcement stories? If so, leave them in the comments below. If you like this stuff, subscribe. Tell me. I don't have much interaction with law enforcement. If I do, it's usually retired law enforcement actually, and not anybody currently wearing the badge out walking the streets. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.